Do you want to be able to isolate your kind of Android apps, for example, separate them from work and home in an easy manner on your phone, on your Android device? Well, I'm Andy and I help you do more with the gadgets and tech that you might already have. So today I'm going to present an application that is called Shelter. It's available in Play Store, and as I said, it helps you separate kind of or isolate your applications from each other. So let's dive in, shall we? Let's have a look at the application itself and install it from Play Store. Okay, so I'm using a Samsung device today. It's a Samsung device. I've just kind of set it up, so we will dive in. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go into Play Store and we're going to search for an application by its name, and the application's name is Shelter. So if we open up the kind of Shelter application, which is here, it's a one which looks like a cracked egg. We're going to install it. So let's click on install. Hopefully it won't take very long to download. So we'll just quickly let it download. Right, so it's downloaded now, so we're actually now going to open up the application. So let's open it up. Now, at the point you open it up, as you'll see in this kind of window, you're presented with a bit of blurb from the application developer themselves, and when you go in, it will just give you a few warnings about the application. Now, the developer's caveating it and putting around it, so I will too. But I have installed it on quite a few phones and it does work very similar on each of the phones that I've installed it on. So we're going to click on continue. They do mention Xiaomi phones. If you have a Xiaomi phone here, it says pay particular attention with it. I have used it on very recent Xiaomi phones and it worked okay. But if you proceed with it on a Xiaomi phone, you do so at your own risk. So we're going to click continue. We can click into here. As we can see, it then launches Samsung Knox, which is their kind of, how can we say it? It's their kind of their container to allow work or school to configure part of your device in a separate standalone kind of area to allow them to install applications in there which are separate from your kind of main thing. Now, I know that Android itself has other ways of doing this. It in fact has profiles in it where you could do completely separate profiles. So you could set up a guest mode and give your device to someone else, and when you give your device to someone else, they'd then be able to have their own kind of setup. They could sign in with their Gmail address and it would be completely different. Right, so here we get click here to finish Shelter. So we're going to click on that one click. It's going to go through, and as we can see now, a Shelter application has launched and it's given us a main part and it's given us a kind of Shelter part. In the main list, you'll see there are loads and loads of applications. They're all the applications installed on your device. And then if we go over to the Shelter kind of side of it, you'll see there are very few applications as such. Now, if we go into the main menu, how it shows itself now is if you go into your main menu, you can see you have your personal area with the applications, as we were saying, and if you scroll across, you get the second window. But if you click on work, you can see there are very few kind of applications in the kind of work area. So anyway, so now what we're going to do is we're going to demonstrate how Shelter actually works. So if we go into let's go back and find the Shelter application in the personal area. Here we have the kind of Shelter application, and in here we can see things such as a browser. So in Shelter there's no camera, so let's install a camera. You long key press on it and you clone it. The first time you clone it, it will normally ask you if you want to clone it or not. We've done that already, and we can go across and we can see what's going on. So now we've got the camera application there. We'll go back and we'll do the same again with the gallery application. So we'll long key press it and we'll clone to the gallery application to Shelter. So if we can now go across into Shelter, we can see we've got camera and gallery. If we go into the menu again, let's just swipe up. You can see in the work application, anything which has been added in the work application puts the little kind of padlock in there so that you know that you've got it's installed in your work area. So we can quickly prove that it works okay by, if we go into our personal area, for example, we open up the camera. We can see there we take a picture with the camera, which is fine, and we go out of it. We go back into the personal area again and we click in gallery. We can see that we've got two pictures in there. If we go back into the main menu and go across to the work area and we look in the gallery area, first time in the gallery area, we can see we've got no pictures, and that's because it's kind of been completely containerized between the two. So we've isolated the work applications and we've isolated the kind of what we're calling the home applications. They're completely separate, so they're standalone in there. Now, one of the things, some of the things it does is in the settings menu, if we go into the settings menu, you can now see that there is a work profile. So in this work profile, for example, you could actually go into this work profile now. Let's just go into phone in portrait mode again. I'll show you that. Let's just go back into settings, go back into settings, into the work profile. You can see in here, you can actually toggle the work profile off. And when we've toggled the work profile off, if we go back into the main menu, you'll see that the personal applications are all still there and accessible. And if we go into work, you'll see all the work applications are grayed out. So that can be really useful at the end of a working day, that you could actually turn your work kind of profile and applications off, so that you could be standalone. Now, again, the other thing it does is once you've installed it, if you go right across, you should have. No, but it hasn't done it yet, so we'll go back to that. You can actually add in a shortcut for settings in the shortcut bar and just do the same operation which I just showed you just now. So let's go back into the settings menu and let's go into our work profile and let's turn our work profile on. If we go back into the main menu again, we've now got the work applications back. Now, one of the cool things you can do with Shelter is that you can actually go into the personal area, go into the Shelter application, and your main ones, all you can do in your main ones when you kind of key press is you can either clone it to Shelter. That's all you can do in the Shelter app for those. That's to move the applications across. If we go into the Shelter application itself, we've got the list of applications in here again, and what we can now do is we could add applications to our list that we don't want to, that we want to be able to freeze. So for example, we could let's not do that. Let's click on the camera application. Here we get a menu, and in the menu you have freeze, launch, allow widgets in the main profile. So again, if you had applications with widgets, you could actually share those and embed them in your home screen. But what we want to do here is we want to click auto freeze. So we've clicked auto freeze on the camera like so, and we'll go into the gallery and we'll click auto freeze in the gallery application as well. So now then, so they've been added to an auto freeze list. What we can actually now do is we can go to the top and you can go create a batch freeze shortcut, which looks like this. The shortcut will be added to the home screen like so, and then we can click on this icon. So for example, it's the end of a working day and you didn't want your gallery and camera application or your work email or whatever apps you didn't want to work, you can just click this application like so. You get a little pop-up saying it's auto frozen it. Again, if we go back into the work menu, you will now see that the gallery and the kind of photo application have disappeared. They've effectively been frozen. So if we then go back into Shelter again, we could go in, and what we could also do is we could go into, let's click on camera. No, sorry, I'm in the wrong one. So camera there, we could click on camera and we could click on gallery and we could create an unfreeze or launch shortcut. Now the first application, hey, I'm just saying hello, hey Dr. Elo, welcome to the stream. We could then click add and it would add the camera application into the kind of main bar. Now what it would allow us to do here is we could then click on the camera application. We click on the camera application, and as you see, it's launched the camera application. But the other thing it's kind of done when it launched the application is going back into the Shelter app. We can see in here that we've got the camera and gallery applications back again. So again, it's quite configurable for how you do it. Again, in the settings, just going into the settings, you could again auto freeze. So you could actually get those applications which you've allocated to auto freeze, in my case gallery and camera, click the auto freeze button, and every time that you lock the power key or press the power key, it would automatically freeze those icons and they would disappear again. Now I'm not quite sure about the use of that because I'd be forever unfreezing applications, so I don't actually use that myself. But as we can see, other applications in there, you could show all apps and you could go into the settings, which we've done. So again, it's quite a simple way to be able to separate your kind of home and work or home and school, and at the end of a working day to easily turn stuff off that you don't want to be bothered about. So I would probably go into the applications, I would put Gmail in there with my work email on in my work profile, and at the end of a working day I could hit the freeze button and it frees my work email, and I then wouldn't be bothered by my work email. So again, but I think a really good user case for this is if you have a user case where you've got a dual SIM phone, and then you can separate these kind of two areas out. So I'll just have a look at the comments to see what's going on in there. So who have we got? So yeah, we've got Dr. Elo. What's going on? So yeah, so I'm remaking my video yesterday. I kind of uploaded my video yesterday, and it was fine when I watched it back, but on uploading it to YouTube it wasn't okay. Originally I was going to do it as a live, but I chickened out, so today I'm doing it as a live. And we've got Kelly as well. Hey Kelly, good to see you. And we've got Kathleen has popped in as well. Hey guys. So I was just demoing the kind of shelter application for Android. As I said, it's as I said at the beginning of my video, which you may have missed, beginning of the live, it's a way to be able to kind of freeze or isolate your applications. So again, I'll demonstrate it one more time. We'll just go into the work application. We can see we've got camera and gallery. I've set up a shortcut which is to freeze those. I hit the freeze button. When I go into that, and I'm not showing it on my phone, so I'll show it now. So when I go into here, I hit the freeze button. I then gallery and camera have disappeared, but if I wanted to reawaken them, I'd hit the camera button, and once again the camera button launch, and I'd go back into my applications, which are over here, and you can see camera and gallery. So yeah, so that is really it. It's a really simple application. It works on most Android devices. It's definitely worth downloading if you try it. Read the warning before you install it, but yeah, do read that warning before you install it, because I'm not going to be held responsible if it's not working. But in here it's a way of separating your kind of work and home life. Or the other thing actually I was going to say is, one thing which is worth showing is that because you've got a contacts application in kind of the personal kind of thing, you can have your personal contacts, and then in your work area you can have your work contacts, and now those two contacts are completely separated. So if I installed Facebook into the work profile, one of the things Facebook will ask you to do is to basically skim your contacts list in Messenger or any of their applications, and what you can do is you can have a completely empty contacts list, so that you don't need to worry about Facebook kind of getting hold of your data. So I think that's quite a powerful thing to do. I think this application is definitely worth a look at it. As I say, you should yesterday there might be a shortcut. No, there's no shortcut. I need to work out why there's no shortcut, but you can go into at the end of your working day, again you can go into your menu, go into your work profile, click that and turn it off, and boom, you've got rid of all your kind of work applications. As you can see, they're all grayed out. Work ain't going to bother you until it's the start of a working day, and then when you want to get your working applications back, you just click in the menu again, click in work profile, turn it on, and the start of your working day starts again. We go back into the menu, go back across, and all your work applications are there, and then all your emails could come across. So let's just catch up in comments and see what's going on. Yep, so everything looks good and sounds great. That's really good to know. Been having tons of audio problems, so I'm glad that it's kind of sounding great for you guys. And we've got Android represented by Callie. Yes, I'm definitely team Android. I don't think you can do this on iPhone. If I'm wrong and you're watching this video on playback, do let me know in the comments that you can do this on iPhone, because I'd be really interested to try it out. All the cool kids use Android. Yeah, team Android definitely. Yeah, it's good. It's really, Susan says it's a nice way to clean up the phone so you can play. Yeah, and it definitely is it is definitely a nice way to kind of do that, because you can definitely clean, separate and segregate your work and home life. Susan says she's not cool because she's got an iPhone. And for all the iPhone, there's a lot of iPhone love in here, isn't there? But no, I mean, there's nothing wrong with iPhone. I just don't think you can do as much with an iPhone as you can with Android. So I'm probably always going to want to be one of those people who enjoys the customization and can do more with it. So yeah, the application is only available for Android. And the final thing I'll probably say remembering about is this application is free and open source software. So what that actually means is that you can actually go and analyze the kind of source code if you're that way inclined, or you could compile the application yourself. And one of the things also with this application is there are no trackers in it, because a lot of other applications you install on your Android device have trackers in, so that the application creator can tell how you're using the application and what you're doing with it. But on this occasion, being a FOSS application, application. There are no trackers in it at all, so it's no one is learning more about you just because you're using an application, which I have to say I think is quite a positive. So yeah, so back to comments, and I think we'll wrap it up, see if any questions in there. Open source is always more versatile. Yeah, open source is good for the community. I think there's a lot in open source. Kathleen's feeling sad for the iPhone users, and Susan's laughing at that. So yeah, so there we are. So my first live on YouTube. I hope you've got something from this. If you have got something from it, I would probably say if you could maybe consider liking and subscribing, that would be brilliant. So yes, so as this little graphic, oh, not that, wrong graphic, that's bad, isn't it? Definitely got a subscribe button. Someone, no, I haven't. So I've lost. Let's see if I can press my kind of Stream Deck, which has gone off on one. Maybe in around about 5 minutes time, my Stream Deck will come back to life and it will put my kind of subscribe banner on it. So yeah, I haven't sorted the Stream Deck today, but hopefully I have sorted the kind of audio problems. But yeah, if you like this video and you're not already following the channel, please do consider liking and subscribing, and I will be back soon with a future video on another subject. So appreciate all the support and you all turning up. If you're watching this on playback, do feel free to add some comments, and I'll respond to your comments if you've got any questions about the application, and hopefully I'll see you all again soon. So many thanks for your time today, and I will catch you guys soon. Take care. See you. Bye.